What up, weebs and weeblets? Today we are going into It Finally Happened.
What did?
The Haikyuu movie.
Fuck yes, the dumpster battle's here?
The dumpster battle's here, and Shawn already knows that. He's just playing off me because we already saw it, and it was fucking astounding.
It was fantastic.
I loved it. I have not had a movie experience this good since the before times.
Oh, the before times.
The good old before times. I used to be like a big movie guy. I used to go like once or twice a week, and now I've gone like 3 times since COVID. And they haven't been great experiences. But Bunny Girl Senpai, I enjoyed the movie itself, but like how the theater was set up where we were in it, it just really
and
took
the extenuating
away.
circumstances of your poor health.
Yeah. I had the runs. It was bad. So, but no, this was great. I loved every minute of it, and we're going to get into that. But first,
That's so good.
Here's what we have been up to recently. Just a little bit, because like I've been on a fucking roll. Like I have times in my life where I just back away, and then there's times in my life where I just read 200 chapters of manga
Just
a
fucking
day.
leans in and burns through it.
Oh God, it's beautiful. So Shawn, what have you been into?
Not a whole lot, but I did start Konosuba.
Hell yeah,
not-
Kazu trash.
and not from this season, from the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's the way to do it. I just picked up Konosuba like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it is such beautiful garbage. I mean, like, if you're not... the only thing you need to know about Konosuba is don't go in expecting a genuine story. Like, if you're just there to have fun, it is just this trash heap of wonderful comedic timing. Like, there's so much about the series that's just, like, hilarious. And for me, a lot of times, like, anime comedy falls pretty flat.
Oh, yeah.
And they just deliver again and again. Like, right from the first scene, it's an isekai comedy. And, like, right from when he gets isekai'd, I'm just, like, on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Like when he just dies from shock instead of getting hit by something. Yes.
Yeah, like, small spoiler for it. Like, when he first dies, he dies from shock trying to save someone from getting run over by a tractor.
Yep, tractor.
Which the person wasn't going to get run over. It's a
Tractor
tractor.
coon.
And so he died of shock, and like the goddess he meets that transports him to another world is just like, yeah, so you died of shock. The paramedics laughed at you. Your parents are at the hospital now.
Laughing at
you, even though you're dead. It's just like, it's really pathetic. And that's just like the start of our story. It's really great. I recommend Konosuba to anyone who's okay with, I'd call it ecchi.
Yeah.
Moderate ecchi, and
It's not the worst thing you'll ever watch.
More than just suggestive themes, I guess, but it's fucking hilarious. Konosuba, solid win.
And other than that, fuck yeah, the MHA manga reached the epilogue.
It's time. It's time for me to pick it up finally.
Right? By the time you get to the end, I'll have put out that whatever tie-up chapter.
Oh, really? Really? You're going to threaten me with a good time? You're going to challenge me? I'll be current tonight. Don't fuck around and find out.
You'll
right?
be current and your wife will be irritated.
Oh, I mean, par for the course. But not at her fault. We'll blame me for that one.
No one was blaming anyone but you.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. I got Shawn to pick up something for once in my life. Well, actually, I convinced him to watch Konosuba, but there is a manga. It's only 11 chapters in called Akabane Sensei Doesn't Know Embarrassment. It is just super face value romance. It's just cute scenes thrown together. They date from the first episode. It's just a fun little pick-me-up, and I really enjoy it. I think the art's great. Akabane Sensei, I mean, like, it is the story, like, tale as old as time, a dude punching so far above his weight class, they're playing different sports. I've lived that. It's cool.
She's playing golf. He shows up with a bowling ball.
Pretty much. I mean, really. But, like, the art style's awesome. I really love... Even the main character doesn't feel like a self-insert. You know, he feels unique enough, but it's just like, you're not here for this huge character arc.
You're here for the fluff.
Yeah, that's just it. It's just quick one-shots of fluff as their relationship grows or whatever. But I'm really enjoying it. I am actually checking every day for the next chapter. And I don't do that with much. It's pretty much just that. And then Strike It Rich. I really like Strike It. Strike It Rich is just so fun.
I might actually have to go back and read that.
It's short so far, and it is such a cool, brutal fight manga.
Get on it before everyone else gets on the hype train.
That's just... I will be surprised if this doesn't get an adaptation. It's just such a fun series. And whoever made it made another really popular series. I think it might be Ashura, but don't take my word for it. I'm not trustworthy. But it really great. And I finally got on the Chainsaw Man boat.
Yeah, you did.
I read Chainsaw Man. I did it because of Aki, actually. I really loved, because I watched the anime, and I really loved how, like, Aki's...
Gets stomped in the nuts.
Well, I like when he gets stomped in the nuts, but, like, in the final scene, spoilers for the final scene of the Chainsaw Man series.
To this point, anyways.
The anime, yeah, to this point. Aki gets a message on a cigarette from someone beyond the grave that just says "Easy Revenge," and Aki's always been pretty serious. All he cares about is taking revenge on the gun devil. He like looks at it because Denji's like, "Hey, let's take turns kicking this guy in the balls," and Aki's like, "No, we're not. We're here to contain him." And then he looks at the cigarette and then rolls up his sleeve. It's just like fucking easy revenge, and it's just like the first time you really get Aki to dial back a little bit instead of just being like this murder train.
He gets to be a human.
I loved Aki through
He's a good character.
Entire first part of the manga. Like Aki is the reason I was there. He's the reason I stayed. In the manga, Makima just hits different, so you should read it for that anyway. But no, I'm so glad I read it. It is so much better than the first season of the anime lets you think it is. The first season was great, but I just feel like right after that, the story just fucking steps it up, gets better and better, and it just hits you in the gut so many freaking times. And you know it's coming. Like, you know, like they literally tell you, hey, we're going to punch you in the gut.
Yes.
Sooner than later. This is going to happen. It's not going to be fun. But you gotta stay for it. So no, I'm so happy I picked it up. I am current part 2 of the series. I'm still kind of iffy about. It's good enough that I'm reading, but it's just like after the first part, you meet new characters. It's back to a slow build. And I just don't know if I'm vibing as hard, but it's still solid. So, but read the first part. Do it.
Definitely. That's a must read.
Fight me. So, upward and onward, we now have spoilers for literally all of Haikyuu. I don't know if we'll spoil all of Haikyuu, but let's just cover our bases.
We will definitely spoil parts of Haikyuu, and just to be safe.
Yeah. So we're talking the seasons and the movie, but if you went to the movie without watching the seasons, then you really did yourself dirty.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good show. Okay,
and way more complex than they would lead you to believe based off it being a volleyball anime.
It's so good. I also know how, like, I can just watch a volleyball game now. Before I knew nothing about volleyball otherwise. Hit the ball, don't let it fall. You hit it 3 times. That's it. And now it's just like I know the rules. I know why you would do things.
Why the libero is wearing a different colored uniform.
Know why the libero is wearing a different colored uniform.
And what a libero is.
And what a libero is. And just, watching the movie, it's just like, I'm like yelling to myself, like, yeah, look at that stuff.
It's all propaganda from big volleyball.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They're just trying to boost volleyball sales as a whole, And it's a show that, at least for me, gets me so excited that when there is a chance ball, in my head, and if I was alone by myself, I would be like, chance ball. Yeah, I just wanted to comment throughout the whole series.
Thank God you didn't. I hate that shit.
You're just screaming in a movie theater.
I'd fight
you back. Because it was worth it. It was good enough, and the hype was there enough that I wanted to yell back at it. So we were struggling how to set up this episode because it's kind of hard for me anyway. I didn't want to bring a notepad into the movie theater. Yeah. Because that also just takes away from it in general.
Despite this podcast, it's more about us enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's just it. If the podcast gets to the point that I'm not enjoying the stuff I'm there to enjoy, what's the point? You lose that oomph. And the oomph is there. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break it down. We're going to just run through the bulk of the characters, kind of what their roles are, their importance. Going to give you a quick summary of what actually happened in the movie, who wins. I feel like you might be able to figure that one out because there's another movie coming.
Spoiler alert, this isn't Rocky 1.
This isn't Haikyuu Season 1. And then we're just going to kind of go into some of our favorite parts, go into some of the character relations and just different things that really elevate this series. Because when I started it, and when I convinced Shawn to start it, I'm like, oh, I heard this volleyball show is good. And next thing you know, it's just like, it's just my safe space. It's my happy place. It is all good vibes, and it's got such great character growth. It's such a good show. You have to watch it. We're going to start with, the setup for this is our home heroes. Karasuno. They are in nationals now. They are. They have won a handful of games, and they already beat the favorite to win. I don't remember that team's name.
Hinarizaki,
the twins.
Hinarizaki, one of them.
Either way, I mean, my favorite thing about them, like when Shawn told me about them because he watched season 4 before me, is that their flag just says "We don't need the memories," which is just savage, dude.
Such a ball.
Like they are here to win. So now they are up against Nekoma, and Nekoma have a long-standing rivalry that has since fallen off because the teams just kind of stopped being good.
Yeah.
And so they used to have fights between
not actual fights. We're not talking
games.
Like gangland
They
wars.
used to have games against each other, and they'd call them dumpster battles because Nekoma are cats, and then Karasuno are crows. So that's where the name comes from, the dumpster battle, because it's just they are finally back to the dumpster battle in nationals, and just how I like the narrative of this show because like this should be the final arc of the tournament. Like it's been set up that way,
yes.
And then they make it as a stepping stone, and I like that because first of all, it's just like. Of course, the rivals always end up at the end, and that didn't happen.
I'm pretty sure this is the quarterfinals of the national tournament.
They got 2 more teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 more plays. Which how the fuck?
In theory,
how are they going to do that in one more movie? The 1 more movie. It's got to be
3-hour movie, 1 piss break,
or just cut a whole bunch of shit, which I'm sure they did here. I haven't read the manga, but I think Shawn has. I
know enough about it.
Did they cut much that you know of?
No, out of this, no.
Out of the movie?
Nope.
Oh, cool. All right, so the Nekoma team, their third years, and this is just worth pointing out, like their third years are about to graduate. This is nationals, and they aren't going back to school. So anyone who's a third year, they have that extra push to play because this is their last chance. So you've got Yaku, who is their libero.
Their defensive god.
Who puts Noya to the test. You have Kai, who he is the vice captain, but he literally just comes in as a pinch server.
Pretty much.
And then that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And some of the younger guys are better than you, and it's nationals. You don't get to be on the field.
You don't get to play unless there's an injury.
Yeah, right? And then you've got Kuro. Kuro. And he's one of my favorite characters. He's got a face that's likable. Does he have sharp teeth? I feel like he's got sharp teeth.
I don't think he has sharp teeth.
Okay, he just reminds me of the pink hair.
The sharp hair definitely feels like he should have sharp teeth.
It does. Well, and he's a cat.
He's a cat.
He's a kitty cat. So those are your big players. Kuro has had a huge play in earlier parts of the series because they go to a training camp with Nekoma and a handful of other schools, but Kuro really had a big influence on Suki, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But like he has been as the captain of their rival, who they've also practiced with, and they're all really like-minded individuals. Like they want to help each other because they want the best game they can have. Like they don't want to underhandedly win; they want to earn that victory, and they just want a good game against a good team. And the camaraderie here with their opponents and throughout the series is so good.
Yeah, because I feel like they're also just like genuinely, they would be friends outside of this.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not. I don't know why they don't get into, I guess because they are so far away. Yeah. City boys and country boys. City boy. Next up, you've got their second years. You've got Yamamoto, which is, he is the Tanaka of
Nekoma. He is Shadow Tanaka.
He is Shadow Tanaka, and we will call him that from now on. They look kind of similar. His head is shaved, except he's got a blonde streak, like the.
He's got a little blonde mohawk.
Shadow Tanaka is a great cover, like great mirror to Tanaka. They're not foils; they're just straight up mirrors.
Yeah.
Those two are always just kind of button heads. They're just very energetic, just douchey dudes.
Like, they are the same person.
But like they're lovable. You know, they're the lovable douche. They're very loud. They're very just annoying, but they're very likable. We also have Fukunaga.
Yeah.
Fukunaga is like Shawn's favorite. And what does Fukunaga bring to the table? Shawn, he's like your favorite character, right?
I mean, yeah.
What position?
He...
what position does he play?
He is a wing. He is a hitter.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think I saw him land a single spike.
Oh, no, you don't have to. He's not there to spike. He's there to be a spaced out goofball.
He is. He's great, and he's got a really likable, crazy guy face. He's kind of like Tendo.
Yeah.
Like he's got a Tendo face. And those characters they don't need to bring a lot to the story,
nope.
But their existence changes the narrative for the better. And by changes the narrative for the better, I mean one-liners.
Yeah.
And we take those. We take those wins. And then the last second year on Nekoma is Kenma. Kenma is such a key part of the story that we went with Shawn's girlfriend, Jocelyn.
Yep.
And when we left the theater, Shawn was like, who do you think is the main character? And she thought it was Kenma. So
Yeah, because Kenma plays such a huge role in this. He plays a huge role in this movie, and he's just the brain of Nekoma.
He is. Oh, they call him as such, right? Like literally when they do their pre-meetings, they're like, okay, guys, this is all up to Kenma.
Yep.
Like, no pressure, bro. But that's literally just like what happens. They're just like, hey, Kenma, it's your time. We're the blood flow to the brain, but you got to do this.
You got to do you do the mental work. We'll do the heavy lifting.
Pretty much. Now, the final three, and these are just like the main players. I'm sure they have backups and stuff that you don't get to see. But you've got
Inuoka.
He is only briefly in there as they assign third blockers to Hinata because you need 3 blockers on a 5-foot little shit. But he was like in the training arc. He was a big play because like he's the first person that like physically shut down Hinata.
Yeah.
During their training practices, he could just keep up with Hinata in general. He was able to read Hinata. So he was a big play in Hinata growing. They ended up pulling him off the team for a lot of it because they ended up getting Lev.
Yes.
Lev is another first year. He is a Russian-Japanese man who is actually, I think they said he is 9'3". I'm making that up.
I was about to say, I was like, in what universe is 9'3"?
But Lev is like Hinata's foil. Like they kind of play off each other because
Lev is basically Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, and he makes his own rules. Like at one point, like Hinata from the get-go has wanted to be the ace because he likes the sound of it. It doesn't even actually like in his soul, he doesn't even know when he decides he wants to be an ace that he wants to be one. He's just like ace is the best. But in actuality, ace is just, what is the left wing spiker?
Usually.
So it's literally just a roll. But then Lev shows up, like, Hinata's finally figured this out, and Lev shows up. He's like, I'm the ace. And Hinata's like, no. And he's like, the ace is whoever does the best. And like, okay, great. We've got 2 of them. Fuck. So like, we finally got these delusions away from Hinata, and it's just like, fuck.
We've
Lev,
transferred them to someone
Lev,
else.
Come on, buddy. No, I think he pushed it back on Hinata, too. You don't transfer it. It spreads like a disease. So you got Lev, and then the last one is, I don't even remember, but it doesn't really matter. He really doesn't do much.
No, he doesn't really show up at all.
Which he may do more in the manga. I'm not positive. But
Pretty sure he doesn't. I've read it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
It's been a couple years, but
like he had so little impact that Fukunaga doesn't do much except for eat meat like a crab, and that was enough to ingrain him in Shawn.
Oh my God.
All right, so back to the hometown heroes. Our Karasuno team, we have our third years are Dachi, who dies at the end.
Yep. Captain
Dachi, who dies at the end. Asahi, he is the current ace. His arc in the first season is really fucking boring, and I hated it. But
Sweet man bun, though.
Sweet man bun. Oh, my God. I need to dress as him for something, honestly. I could get away with it. I can just be short Asahi. I'll be Asahi Nata. And then last of all, you've got Suga. I really love his character. He's really nice. He really knows the guys. He knows kind of how to work with them. He was the setter, but Kageyama's just
too good. He's too good to sit on the bench.
Kageyama is already like being groomed to be in the Olympics.
Yeah,
so
it's just in earlier seasons he was on the national, like he was selected for like a national.
Yeah, to just like be the Olympic team.
Yeah,
and so Suga takes it on the chin like a man, and he just does. He's such a kind character. He does such a good job of like cheering people on, getting them going, and then when he does sub in to give Kageyama a break. Just how he works with the team. It's nice to see how differently he works with them than Kageyama, because to make up for skill, he just gets to know them better.
Yeah, like they're both very good setters, just in very different ways.
In very different ways. So that's our third years, and one of the biggest stakes with this is that this is the third year's last chance, you know? Yeah. So it's for this team, with those 3, they have to win, or, as soon as they lose, those guys don't get to play another game. They want to play as many games as they can, and their teammates want them to play as many games as they can. And they're all lovable. They're really great. Dachi is a great captain. Like he does.
Yeah.
I mean, Dachi is like the focal point. He makes up for how bad Hinata is.
Oh my God, he comes up for him so much.
Because like Hinata's defense is terrible. Even now, like he's gotten to the point that he's learning. But even now, his defense is fuck off.
Trash.
It's hilarious. So your second years that matter. Noya is fucking great. He's a super tiny little man, and he is their libero, defense king, and he's just super. He's cringe. I guess, because like he likes to do his dive and yell "Rolling Thunder."
Yes.
Yeah. One of my favorite Noya moments is he gets the perv fall, And so they slow it down. He gets Hinata bumps into him, and he's falling into a girl's chest, and he's having his thoughts like, "I'm sorry this is happening, but thank you God for doing this to me." And it's a slow fall because he's thirsty, and it's okay to be thirsty.
And Hinata even expands upon this once by saying he's like a horny tornado.
I don't even remember that, but I love it. And then the girl catches him, though.
Yeah.
She just catches him by the shoulder.
Yeah, right?
It's so beautifully done. I love it. Other than Noi, you've got Tanaka. Tanaka is best boy. Like I was saying before, he's just kind of a ruffian. I don't know. He's always yelling shit. He doesn't have a huge role in this, but every time someone serves, Tanaka can be heard in the background saying, like, just give it to him in the rear or something.
Says, tear him a new one, bro.
Tear him a new one, bro. Like, every time they like pan out to show someone serving, Tanaka yells something like that. And he's just so perfect. And he has had a character arc. He has had a good run. I'm sure in later episodes he's going to get a little more, too. But, like, there is an episode about how, he's falling behind everyone.
Yeah.
And, like, not everyone can be Hinata. And Hinata? What? I should stop using words. I am not a wordsmith, guys.
It's really difficult when there's a Hinata here and then a Hinata in Naruto, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with.
Yeah, it's confusing for me. But are they pronounced differently?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I pronounce everything wrong in different ways.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
All right, hey guys. Quick sidebar here. So what I did is I bumped my mic and completely fucked the sound.
Yeah, you did.
So this is a week later, and I just wanted to address it because A, I'm trash. B, just if it fucks with the flow, I just want to touch base on it. Like, hey, I'm human. Don't judge me. I mean, it's fine.
Or if you do judge him, at least understand why the flow's different.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so where we left off, we were talking about second years, and
we just wrapped up talking about Noya, didn't we? Or was it Tanaka?
Tanaka and Noya. So now we're going to go to the second years over on Nekoma. We're going to save the best for last. So we've got Lev. I love Lev.
Lev, big, dumb idiot. Fantastic.
Yeah. He is a giant Russian-Japanese man and, well, kid. He is one of Shoya's like many rivals.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to rival Shoya. He's just this weird, energetic, intense kid that just Shoya's everything.
He's just all up in everyone's shit about everything all the time, and he kind of like bullies people or charms people into becoming his rival.
Well, yeah, that's just it. He sets the standards. Like, why aren't you doing your best? That's wrong. But Lev has this thing where like Hinata finally gets to the point that he accepts that like being the decoy is a fine role because really all the ace is it's a position. And then Lev rolls in and he's just like, yeah, no, I'm not the ace. They tell me I'm not the ace, but the ace is the best spiker, period. And it's just like, Lev, he just got over this. Why are you feeding back into it? This kid is not stable, and you're just like, oh, here, just take this candy. So Lev is charming. He is not good. He is just tall, and he has improved a lot, which is a nice comparison to Shoyo. I don't know. He's really fun, and he was really intimidating at first. But Lev's a chill dude. He just wants to be
super
friends.
laid back.
He just wants to spike. That is literally all he cares about.
Yeah, he's so forward about it, though. He can be off-putting at first, I think.
Oh, yeah. But, like, it's just like Shoya. Like, I mean, Hinata at first, he just didn't care about anything other than getting over the wall. Just hitting that spike. And to see them both kind of make that progress, it was great. I really like Lev. The other one was...
Fukunaga.
Oh, yeah, Fukunaga. Wait. My stupid ass. Lev's the first year. So, second years. We've got Fukunaga. Fukunaga's great. He's one of Shawn's favorites.
Yes.
I'm still not convinced that Shawn knows what position he plays.
I'm pretty sure I don't know either.
Yeah, well, but that doesn't matter.
I'm not here for the volleyball aspect of Fukunaga. I'm here for the vibes.
Yeah, first of all, he's just got a weird face. I like him because He just looks a little off, just like Tendo, who's also a weirdo.
Yes.
And I think that adds to their character, and it just really feeds into how fucking weird they are. My favorite Fukunaga moment in the movie is at one point.
This is during the timeout, isn't it? Is
Yeah, it's towards the end, and you're getting this like update from
fucking Kenma. He's
Kenma,
talking about how he's comparing like the game to a video game where like, you know, people die, but then you can reset.
Yeah, like he didn't care about people dying, but like now he does. With his team, he cares about them dying, and like Fukunaga is just like, well, the good news is that most of the time people don't die in volleyball, and he just does leave it open-ended.
Right, it makes you think that he has killed someone in volleyball. Maybe he's a volleyball serial killer.
Well, and honestly, God, why can't I think of my boy? My boy in the second season.
Oh,
Oikawa. I mean, Oikawa serves could kill, I swear to God. I watched a clip of that like yesterday, and I was like, motherfucker, I got to rewatch all of this because Oikawa's a beast, and I love him. And a dick. But yeah, so like leaving that open, I also almost like there was a point in it, like I briefly was like, are they going to really fucking jump the shark and kill somebody?
Is this how Daichi dies?
It might be. This is how Daichi dies. But actually, no, I thought it was Kenma. Because, like, Kenma can barely breathe. I'm like, this motherfucker is going to... The fucking... What is that? It's not White Fang. There's a book about, like, a big race where a kid just, like, has his pet dog run. It's fucking brutal. Because the dog runs so hard that his heart bursts right before the kid wins. And it's just like, what am I reading? And I was really hoping that, like, they just, like, fucking... hit us, just blindside us with like
Kenma's just heart just explodes at the last point.
Kenma just dies like the fucking hero he is. I would love it. We also do have Kenma. Kenma is almost the main character of this. Kenma and Shoyo, because like they are such opposites that like Kenma's just there to be there for something to do. He's
there for his friend.
He is. Yeah, no, he's literally just there because he was like semi-bullied into it. He likes the planning aspect of it, and he is like the brain of the team. They put all the pressure on him. He makes all the decisions. He is just like their planner, and they literally call him the brain. They're like, everyone needs to get blood to the brain. Like that's just like they're.
He's there to tell people what to do and how to do it,
and he's good at it. So he's never really like he doesn't like running. He doesn't like doing any of that, and so Hinata is just like, this is everything. You need to be on the court. Why don't you love volleyball? And so that contrast and where they end up in this is just great. And like we went to see it with Shawn's girlfriend, and she doesn't really do anime, but she came to support.
She'll watch it. She doesn't understand it all the time, which is fine.
Well, when we asked her about it afterwards, she's like, well, I feel like I was missing pieces. And I was like, yeah, about 4 seasons.
Yes, accurate. Then I proceeded to ask her who she thought the main character of this was.
And she thought it was Kenma. So
which is fair.
That's how big of an impact Kenma has. And it is just really great. I mean, I have been waiting for this. This is such a fucking awesome arc. And the movie, it was so good. Finally, our final second year is Yamato. I feel like he doesn't really play much of a part.
No, he's just there to be fucking Tanaka's antagonist.
Oh, yeah, that's Yamato. He's a delinquent, too. He is just literally Tanaka with blonde hair.
Yep.
And their back and forth are always great. They're just pissed at each other all the time.
Yeah, they're like pissed at each other, but not really. They're like the friends who are going to have a couple drinks together when they're adults.
Or not, who knows? They're delinquents.
They are delinquents, but
like,
yeah.
Low-key delinquents.
Like, they'll go out to get a drink at each other and then get into an argument and like almost, start slapping each other around.
No, not almost. I mean, at one point, if these guys are buddies after high school, they're throwing hands.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it depends on who's around.
Yeah, no, and they're just like, same vibes as My Hero and...
Kirishima and Tetsu.
Kirishima, yeah, and Tetsu. Shout out to Tetsu. That's first and last name. Best character name. I love that. I love tough dudes being tough. It's fun. Tough dudes being tough and also being friends because of it. Just hey, bro, you're tough. I'm tough. Best friends. Immediately.
Fantastic.
Okay, so first years. On Karasuno, we have...
Do you mean third years?
No, we covered third years. Again,
we're going backwards.
We just came back. So
yes.
Yeah, because like...
Yes.
Shoyo. So we started with third years because they're leaving.
Yes, never mind. I'm an idiot.
I'm sorry that Shawn's worthless, even though it's my fault that we are redoing some of this.
Time has no meaning.
Okay, so let's start with Suki. I love Suki. Suki's a dick.
He's sarcastic asshole.
He is a sarcastic asshole. He has already had his arc in the second season where, again, like there's so many people that's just like they're just kind of playing and they don't love the game. And he found a love for it. And Kuro had such a big impact on that. Kuro like really pushed him and like kind of showed him how to play better. When Suki has his moment, he even thinks about, Bokuro and Kuro and training with them.
Yep.
And
that fantastic fucking training arc.
Oh god, the training arc is so good. And so like for Suki, playing against Kuro is just such a big part of this on their end.
Yeah.
And I mean I love the Kuro because they're both. Is Kuro a middle blocker?
Yes, he is.
Okay, yeah, so they're both middle blockers. Is Suki a middle blocker?
I'm pretty sure.
Are there two middle blockers?
I don't know. We understand a lot more about how volleyball works, but not exactly.
I don't sport. But yeah, so those two are just, they play off each other so well, and I really love it. You have Yamaguchi.
The
Gooch. So he plays into this, and he has always been
He's a pushover.
He's a pushover. He doesn't have a lot of self-confidence, and so he is their pinch server.
Yeah.
And so for his arcs, it's just like him getting over his fear, getting over his self-consciousness. And, since he just isn't as athletic or tall as everyone, it's just he has focused everything on learning the float ball. Float serve.
Which is the volleyball equivalent of a pitcher throwing a knuckleball.
Yeah, so the ball doesn't spin, so it just kind of like hovers, and when it does fall, it just drops. And it can really throw people off. So he's the pinch server. Canonically. he is just the Gooch. I just want a side story where they just announce him as the Gooch.
And everyone in the fucking stands just gets on their feet and goes, Gooch, 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 Gooch.
Service aces, they're just like, get Gooched.
Taste this Gooch.
I would love a side story for the Gooch, even though he's my least favorite main character, because...
But if they rebrand him as the Gooch, automatic top 10.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many people are even on the team, bro?
I meant for the series, not for the team.
Yeah. No, I'm down with the Gooch, because even characters that I don't like or don't like at first, it does such a good... I mean, they all feel human. They all feel very high school. It is just so immersive, and even the Gooch found some of my love. I'm all up in this Gooch life.
You can't do this to me. I'll die.
You've also got Kageyama, who is just like, he's going to be an Olympic class setter.
He is a savant.
He absolutely is. And him and Hinata, like that is just your first pairing. They hated each other at first, and then frenemies to friends, even though he's still just an asshole to Hinata.
They're friends, and Kageyama will never admit it in public.
Oh, no. And he just loves giving Hinata a hard time. And so Hinata can finally, I keep fucking it up. Hinata can finally receive, and so he gets a receive, and he's just beaming.
He's got this stupid shit-eating grin on his face,
kind of like Frieren when she has the clothes melting potion.
Yes.
And and Kageyama's just like, dude, that was fucking basic. I'm not praising you. So those are our first years on Karasuno. We've got some honorable mentions because Tendo does show up. I love Tendo. I wasn't expecting him. As soon as he shows up, I was just punching Shawn.
Yes.
Because I was just so excited. I'm like, Tendo's here. The guest monster, he's my boy. I love him.
I love it when he breaks the fourth wall in this movie too. He just he's talking to no one and he turns to face the camera.
I didn't even realize it because I was too busy punching you.
Well, I mean, you don't realize until it pans back and you see he's not actually talking.
Oh, I just figure he's talking to himself because he's insane.
He's not talking to Koshiki.
Which Koshiki was the other honorable mention. He is the now ace of Shiratorizawa because those bitches lost. So the third years are out. So then with the Nekoma team, our first years are... Where am I at? Okay, so I already covered Lev because I'm incompetent. And we already
He's so tall, he looks like a second year.
Yeah, pretty much. You've got...
Got fucking Inuoka.
Inuoka I really like. He's got a charming design, and when we first meet him, it's in the training arc, and he's kind of the first person to shut down Hinata and Kageyama's freak quick.
Yeah.
Because like nobody's ever ready for it, and the only reason the freak quick works is because Kageyama is just the goat. Because like when they start the quick, Hinata just has his eyes closed. He just jumps full force, swings full force, and he just instinctively trusts Kageyama. He shuts his eyes and swings, and Kageyama just puts it there because he's insane. He's
that
like
good, and Shoyo is that much of a scrub.
Well, and Shoyo's just that much of, he's so earnest that he's like, Kageyama said the ball would be there, so I knew it'd be there.
Right?
It is like a big part of like early on because, well, and still, because every time Shoyo jumps, it's why he's such a good decoy. Every time he moves and jumps, it's 100%. He's never trying to like half-ass it, even though he doesn't know he's going to get the serve. I mean, yeah, no, he's just goated.
And fucking Inuoka does a good job of being like the remedy to that in some cases, because he's just like the fucking golden retriever of this team of cats.
Yeah. Well, and he keeps up with him at first. And so he's got a small appearance in it. And, but yeah, no, at one point, Kenma's literally just completely shutting down Hinata, and he started getting away from them. So they just added a third blocker on him, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful how it's done. And then our final first year is, I'm going to be honest, it's been too long and I don't remember, but I feel like he wasn't that big of an impact.
No, I don't even remember him actually being in the game.
So. Yeah, so if I'm doing him dirty, I'm sorry.
Not sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I am sorry, especially after the Futaba mix-up. I'm still ashamed about that. Either way.
That's an apology for a future episode.
Past episode.
For a past apology in the future for a past episode.
Yeah, it's complicated just because me and Shawn are very inconsistent. I'm sorry. That I'm genuinely sorry for. So finally, we've got our team.
Coaches and assistants.
Assistants. You've got Coach Yukai, not to be confused with Coach Yukai. You've got old Yukai who like is in it, and he's watching Hinata because he was like his specific, like they had a specific special training arc to help Hinata do better. And then you've got Coach Yukai, the real coach of the team, who is Coach Yukai's son.
Yes.
Son. And I love him. Either way. He's a great character. He always there have been, especially in season 4, there were so many times that he just kind of broke them out of their slumps.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines in that season is or was it season 3? It was season 4. He's like, "Why are you guys looking down? Volleyball's a game where you look up." He's like, "Stop feeling down. Volleyball's a game where you are always looking up. Do not look down." And everybody just got fucking hype. But he had almost no play in this. And that is like my biggest complaint about the movie. But at a certain point, you have to cut things when you are putting that much content into
it was 90 minutes. Yeah, it was not fucking 90
minutes.
Yeah,
it was not long enough. And that's the only bummer. But they did so much with their time. I was so thrilled with it. I mean, it brought me right back into Haikyuu. You have Kyoko, who is the current manager. She didn't really have much of a play. She is the third-year manager, and she's going to be on her way out. You've got Yachi, my first watch-through, I just didn't care for her. And then my second watch-through, because obviously I've had a second watch-through.
I mean, we both have. We've both had multiple watch-throughs.
Oh, yeah. She really grew on me when I really gave her the time of day. And at this point, she really knows volleyball. At first she was very timid and nervous, and she still is. But now she's, like, really into it and really, like, following the game. And it's really wonderful. I really, really like her. And at first I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, considering someone who was bullied into being...
No, Kyoko's just like, yeah, no, you're doing this. And then the whole time she's like, these men are going to kill me. They're so tall.
Flash forward to when she's a third year and just putting them in a headlock.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for her to... She's just going to be like beating the shit out of them, I hope so. Yachi the delinquent. Canon. And then you have Takeda, and he is just like the English teacher?
Basically he's the actual... on paper, actual coach of fucking Karasuno because they needed a teacher to be the coach.
Yeah, and so he didn't know anything, but he's got a heart of gold. He's a really good dude, and he was just like, well, if I don't do it, who will? And so he's come through for these guys. He's always had faith in them, and he is a great adult figure. He's just awesome.
Yeah, he's a good adult figure for them. He's very level.
He's nerdy. He's funny when he's drunk. He cannot hold his booze. Great character.
Yeah, and also does a good job of actually learning the game of volleyball.
Yeah, no, he invests. He invests hard, and he does so much for this team that I feel like sometimes I overlook it.
Yeah.
And even in this one, he He doesn't have a big play. He's very emotional since he's been there from the beginning. I feel like every time they win, he cries.
Yes.
And I'm about that. Like,
We love a man who cries.
I love a man who cries. It's okay to wear your heart on your sleeve. And he does, and he has done so much for them, and he earns any respect, all respect he gets. So we're like forever into this, and now let's actually talk about the movie.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the movie for me was like an easy 8.59 out of 10.
Yes.
I really loved it. Best movie experience I have had in so long, since the before times.
The fucking before times.
If I already said this, I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself.
But it deserves to be reiterated.
It does. It's so fucking good, so hype. At the start of the movie, it's kind of like a slow burn because they're just showing you like when Shoyo and Kenma first meet.
Yep.
And they go a little too hard on the cats versus crows because there's a cat there and a crow there. I was like...
And they keep showing cats and crows,
cats and crows. So at first I'm like, it's been a minute. Is Haikyuu as good as I thought it was? Because like Haikyuu it's weird because it's so hard to explain why it's so good. Like to the extent that like after watching the third season, I'm like, I Googled it. I'm like, why do I like this show so much? I'm like, what?
What is it?
What is it? It's just, but it is feel good. It is, all the characters are just well written. They have very complete story arcs. You get so invested in them. Somehow they make the stakes of high school volleyball feel bigger to me than some series have made the end of the world.
Yes.
And it's just so easy to get invested in this series and in every character. I feel like a lot of the times when you get backstories, because you get backstories for the other team all the time. And I feel like a lot of series, when they do that much, it's easy to fall out. It gets boring.
Yeah, you can get bogged down. You don't care about people.
And this that doesn't often happen in this series. They do a great job of making everyone matter and then bringing them back, just like Tendo.
Yeah.
You know, so they try to bring them back. You touch base. They play them again. You can see how they've grown. And so those backstories really add to this whole story that they've built in all of these characters. And they're just little fucking gremlins. And I love it because it's just really wholesome. And they're just stupid boys, which...
It is
That's canon. That is life canon.
Yeah.
Boys are stupid.
It's the best possible version of Boys Will Be Boys.
Yes, it is. It's, in my opinion, the only actual version of Boys Will Be Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, none of that other shit. This is what Boys Will Be Boys is meant to. It's just kids being fucking stupid because that's what high school's about.
That's what about growing up is.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to argue that men are less stupid as adults, because
most of us just reel it in a little bit better.
Yeah, we just play adult better. And if that doesn't convince you, just watch it. Get through the first season. It gets a little slow at a moment, but then from there, it is just somehow they keep upping the ante. And they did the same thing in this movie. So when I was watching that, I was kind of questioning it. And then once they get to the game, I'm like, holy fuck, this is why. Yep. This is as hype as I remember it. This show is as good as I thought it was. And it might even be better. They keep building on top of everything. And this was just such a pinnacle moment for them because this is it. This is not it, but it's the culmination of like their emotional arcs. It is. And so this is the first time that it's just like, well, first of all, they're playing against their rivals. And these characters have had such a huge impact on each other. And they've both grown so much. And like they've both been teams that have kind of fallen off. They used to be top tier teams and they've fallen off. And both teams have made that jump back, and they've come back so hard that they are in nationals playing against each other
in the fucking quarterfinals.
And I liked that too because like I feel like generally in a lot of series you'd have these guys against each other at the end.
Yeah.
And it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to see that, but it's also just like, but no. I want them to both win.
It's like I want one to win the trophy and the other to get a slightly smaller trophy.
Exactly that. So I mean, it's just a really great play on it, and it is worth all the hype. So I'm just because it's hard to just really explain the hype in the overall movie, and it was a movie, and I can't rewatch it because I haven't had time. I'm just going to give you a quick summary, or we're going to give you a quick summary of just like how it plays out, and then kind of go into some of the reasons, some of our favorite scenes, some of the reasons it was so good. But so just right from the get-go, like, I'm just going to keep it real basic. Match 1, fucking
Nekoma wins.
And that's weird because Nekoma, and they do a great job of explaining these things through fans or something like that, where it's just like, it feels natural that like Bokudo. It might be Bokudo who's like, well, usually Nekoma loses their first match. And, he's talking to his friend because they're a slow burn and they need to build their defense. So the fact that they took the first one is scary. It's terrifying.
It means that their offense is clicking too, and they are here to dunk on people.
And they do. They play. They are all playing at their best. So second match, Karasuno wins, obviously.
Because you can't have a sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be boring. And so the first two, I think they go over 25 both times. And then like the third match, Karasuno wins. But it's kind of a switch up because like I feel like almost every game has been, they're going to 30 points. Right. And this one ends at like 21 to 25.
Yep.
And it's really great how that ends because like when it does end, they take the point, and Shoyo's like, all right, come on, Tanaka, let's do another one. And they're like,
yeah, it's over.
Hinata, no.
We won.
And so it's just, all of Karasuno is honestly almost disappointed that they won because they just wanted one more round. They wanted to be on the court a little longer against their rivals. Yep. And that's just kind of the sportsmanship in it, the feel-goodness of it is, you feel bad and you want both teams to win, but they all just want to play. And they love the sport so much that it doesn't even matter to them that they won nearly as much as they aren't playing these guys longer. And that's just the core theme. I just want to be on the court.
Stay on the court.
That's the whole thing. Is that they just want to be on the court. They love doing what they're doing, and they want to continue until they win nationals. And so, I mean, that's the movie.
that is the super abridged version of the movie.
So, yeah, thanks for coming out, guys. And
gonna wrap this one early. We got shit to do. No.
Okay, so first, one of the biggest things, and I've kind of touched on that, is just you've got so many, like what makes this so great? Because I mean, that sounds pretty dull for 90 minutes.
Right.
The pacing's very good, generally. Again, there's moments that I feel like the pacing's bad, moments that the flashbacks, although they do a great job of them, sometimes drag on a little bit.
I feel like that mostly happens at the beginning of the movie, though.
It does. It does, but like generally the pacing's good, and generally when they do the flashbacks, they're very good. And they use it as such a good tool to show each other's growth by comparing each other. Like you've got, the biggest one is Hinata and Kenma, and how often they flash back to Hinata's influence on Kenma and where Kenma has been and where he is now. And like even to the point that he's like, I'm having fun. And there's this awesome scene where Kenma just like fucking scary stares at Hinata and he's like, you surprised me.
Yeah, like when we say scary stare, I mean like eyes narrow, he gets this creepy ass grin that doesn't show any teeth on his face.
And he's like, keep surprising me. And Hinata just like jumps back 10 feet and he's just like terrified, and everyone's like, well, what's wrong, Hinata? And he's just like dead ass terrified of fucking Kenma. And the Kenma Hinata plays here is like Kenma just wants to beat him. He wants to be better. He wants to like match Hinata. And to do that, he just fucking shuts Hinata down. And at one point, he's even just like, I'm sorry, Hinata. I know how much this hurts you. But fuck that. You're going down, bitch.
Yeah, like he genuinely feels bad about it as a person, but as a volleyball player, he's like, no, I need to do this.
Yeah. So, and that's like, even to the point that it's just, he wants to shut Hinata down so much that he assigns a third blocker. And Hinata's not even the ace, but like, he's just such a wild card that they're like, nah. Kenma's like, nah, I'm shutting you down. You are their inspiration, even to the point that, like, when they're all celebrating, Kuro looks at them and they all just have Hinata's hair. He's like, oh my God, they're all the squirt. It's just great. And then you've got the Suki Kuro, which I already, like, kind of touch base on. I love Kuro. I love Suki. I love their interactions. Suki's such a douche to him.
But Kuro's kind of a douche too.
Yeah, no, their banter's great. I mean, it's douchey, but it is like friendly competition. Kuro is, they want such a good game that Kuro tells Suki, hey bro, you're not blocking good enough. And so
literally
Suki
gives him a tip. Like, hey, remember, gotta keep those fingers outstretched.
Yeah, and then like the very next play, Suki stuffs him. Yes. And of course, Suki has words about it, and it is really great. Noya and Yaku, the liberos, they have a little bit of a story. It's just liberos being liberos.
Yeah, Noya just wants to prove himself against the best libero we've seen in the series.
I mean, it's the best defensive team and the best defensive player on the defensive team.
Yeah.
And so
Noya just wants to match up with him. There's not a whole lot of actual banter between the two.
It's just Noya being Noya. Yeah. and so that's a really good play there. And then you got the Gooch. The Gooch is more centered, that it's just they are doing a good job of showing the Gooch is here to gooch it up. And, he lands a few, and I think he ends up getting him 2 points.
Yeah, one is an ace, and the other one just ricochets off whoever tries to receive it.
Yeah, so the Gooch is doing what the Gooch does. He isn't there to win the game, and he's accepted that, and he's focused on they call him a pinch server for a reason. Those 2 points, essentially, those 2 points made the difference. Yeah. I mean, that was the difference between you winning and losing, because they were at the point that you just need a 2-point lead. And so that's very important to the game. And the Gooch in the beginning was just I can never contribute. And for him to be there now, it's great. Even if he is kind of a whiny bitch, he's still Gooch.
Yeah, and it's good to see that his mentor who taught him how to do the float serve up in the stands get a little emotional about it, too.
Oh, yeah, because he did just have a random dude that used to play for Karasuno. He's friends with Coach Yukai, and Coach Yukai brought him. And so him feeling really emotional after teaching him. There's a lot of that where the coaches are just really moved because they are seeing the progress, and they've grown to love these guys because teamwork and shit. And
the power of friendship.
I love the power of friendship. Always will, always have. Fight me. You've got Tanaka in his shadow, which again is not really, it doesn't really matter. It's just Tanaka yelling.
It's just fun.
He's just, fuck you, city boy. I mean, he doesn't say fuck you, but he's I think he says go to hell, city boy. I just love Tanaka just screaming, city boy! City boy! Oh, jeez. Everyone's my favorite, always. I love Tanaka.
Always and forever.
Tanaka's my favorite. You've got the Lev and the Hinata, and that's great because I feel like the Kenma Hinata is kind of like a contrast of personalities. It's like the battle of personalities, whereas, Lev and Hinata is similar personalities, but it's the battle of...
Yeah, same dude, different bodies.
Same dude, different body set. They both suck, and they're both improving, and they both have aspirations, and you can tell that they're going to be making it there.
Yeah, Lev and Shoyo are the epitome of... The thing I love about Lev and Hinata is that they are essentially the epitome of having very low floors and incredibly high ceilings for a talent level.
Yeah, I feel especially Hinata, but Lev too. It's just he is either absolute fucking garbage or just insane. People don't know how. Fucking Kenma isn't the first person that their only goal was to shut down Hinata. Right? So it's just but no, they also shut him down by sending the ball to him. It's really great. Finally, we've got Yachi. And I already touched base on Yachi, good old villager bee. I loved where she was in this. Her parts were brief, but just they made use of a lot of their time really well, and they did a great job of just showing how far Yachi's come, and just where she is now, and that she's just so invested, and she's going to be there for 3 years.
Oh yeah, and full ride.
Yeah, no, and it's really great. I love Yachi. Very pro Yachi. Yukai, sigh.
Right.
And then just going to touch base on Fukunaga one more time because Fukunaga's just great. I feel like he's got a... Do you remember the other scene he has that just kind of really hit good?
In this movie or in general?
Yeah, in this movie.
In this movie, my favorite part outside of him saying deaths rarely happen in volleyball is during the player intros where they're just introducing everyone and he's just staring up and off into space. He's not even there.
He's not there. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. I knew it was early on where it's just Fukunaga shows up and it's just what's his deal?
Right? He looks like he just wandered onto the court.
An honorable mention for during the training arc. When the guys they find out they've got barbecue.
Yeah.
First of all, again to just go with stupid boys. When they find out about it, they just scream. They're just chanting meat, meat, meat. And then Fukunaga's just like being a crab about it.
Like literally.
Like an actual crab. He's just got 2 tongs and he's just being a crab. It's great.
Just like how everything eventually evolves into crabs. Look it up.
Yeah. And, really?
Yeah, crabs have evolved multiple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But are crabs like lobsters? Are they, what's the word? Don't die ever?
That's actually lobsters.
I was going to say, are they like lobsters? They are eternal?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I just think of like lobsters as like the hot dog version of crabs, and crabs are the hamburger version of lobsters.
So crabs, given the shape, but also like hot dogs are just so fucking gross. Yes. I love them, but that they will just not ever, they'll just be the same forever.
Yes, exactly.
That is such a good analogy. I fucking love it. Onto this like symbolism of it, and this is what I was talking about earlier with the crows in the beginning. I love when they do the crows where it's just like there's a handful of times they'll talk about freaking Hinata, and right now between Kageyama and Hinata, it is a demon and his weapon. But if Hinata ever learns how to play, right. Because again, Hinata has never known how to play. They're like, if Hinata ever learned how to play, it'll be a demon, and it'll be terrifying. And when he's talking about it, both of them are just, the imagery they use and the analogies they use, like personifications, are just so great because it's got them both standing on branches of a tree with their like Karasuno jackets over their shoulders and then crows resting on their shoulders. There's so much imagery like that where you're taking just a sport, just making it look more beautiful. Or like every time Hinata goes to, not every time, but like there's been a few times where Hinata goes to jump, and when his arms go back, they kind of just show images of wings over him because he just straight up flies. A shout out to the first opening. First opening, Fly High.
I think that was it.
First or second or third. No, it's definitely not the third. But yeah, where like the lyrics are just gonna fly high, and it's just so suiting. And then obviously their flags just says fly. Throwback to season 4, where I don't know if I mentioned this already, but throwback to season 4, they don't need the memory, which
fucking
is just
Inarizaki.
They're fucking tough. They're just here to crush you. I love Inarizaki. Is that Inarizaki?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of imagery like this throughout the series. Like when Tanaka's arc happens, it's just like him feeling lost and him just walking upstairs to show his like mental turmoil, that he's just constantly trying to catch these guys, and that he just feels stuck. And he just kind of comes to terms with his role, that he's not this key player like everyone else, but he's an important part of the team, and he's a good player, and he can always improve. But yeah, like Tanaka's arc, it's just really great because Tanaka's always just been comic relief and stuff like that. So for him to have these emotional moments, it was really a great way to do it. And then in this movie, the best like personification is Kenma.
Oh, fucking Kenma.
And Shawn had mentioned like being nervous about this scene, the cage scene.
Yeah, the cage scene where like they actually in the movie when he's shutting down Shoyo, like he actually it shows him like a giant Kenma literally putting Hinata in a fucking cage, like a bird cage.
Yeah, like and that's first of all bird cage, crow, all that. And Shawn was nervous about it because he read the manga and he was just like wondering how they would do that
if they would do it.
Or if they would do it, because it's a fucking sweet scene. It does such a great job of showing how much power Kenma has over Hinata, and that he's just shutting him down so bad that it's getting to Hinata. And he's doing that so they can get points by, well, first of all, that there's points Hinata's not getting. But once he starts, and this is something that happened, like they talk about the psychology of playing the game. And when you get shut down again and again and again, you start to get desperate. And as you're getting desperate, like Kageyama's noticing that because he's, of course, fucking savant.
He's a genius.
And so he's sending it to Hinata less, which is making it harder on Hinata, and it's really starting to mess with his
confidence, his brain,
his psychosis, whatever. And so that is such a great imagery when you're talking about a sports anime. To see things like that is just so rewarding. It makes those stakes feel so much bigger. It makes what Kenma's doing to Hinata so much harsher, and it does such a good job of like showing just how Hinata feels, because even though he is adding to the team, he just feels like he just can't do anything because he can.
Right. And just purely on a technical level, just translating that from page to screen was also fantastic.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I feel like they have, because I've read a little bit of the manga, they have done such a... I mean, having the action that they have, that's another thing about it, is like they make, God, the spikes look so good. Like they make everything look so good. And I do feel like I stopped the manga because it just doesn't hit right. It's partly
It doesn't hit the same.
It's partly because I watched the anime first,
Yeah.
but it's just like the action in it is just so good watching them play. Their form is perfect when they show it. You know, like their spike form. It's just beautiful. But yeah, so that scene's great. And then when Hinata overcomes it, it's even better because again, you know, it's just like they've already set this awesome thing up. It's a great scene because it shows our frenemies to friends how well Kageyama. Again, he's such an amazing fucking setter that
he knows what he needs to do.
He does.
He understands what he needs to do to get his guy out of a funk.
You know, and it has a flashback of Hinata saying, you know, if you serve it, I'll be there. And it's such a huge dick move. Like, not like him being a dick. He's just hanging to his knees that he's just like, no, we're breaking him out of this. And so he just sets it high. Everyone knows exactly where it's going. And he's like, Hinata's struggling, but you know what? He's going straight. They've got 3 blockers because he sets it so high that they know exactly where it's going. They're lined up, and Hinata just in the 4th season has kind of learned how to jump better. He just straight jumps over all of them. And when he does that, it's got him breaking out of the cage. Like, I think it's like kind of like he's jumping. Like he just jumps out of it and breaks out with like wings, I think they did the wing thing.
I think they did like a Cronata.
Yeah. Cronata just busting out of the cage.
Croyo.
I like Croyo more. It's just, that imagery is great. It just shows like his mental state has returned. Kageyama has gotten them there. And again, when I talk about like this show's so good because of the storytelling, you know, they do all of this without words. You don't have like these, what's it called when you've got like, especially at the beginning of a show where you've got a narrator narrating.
Oh, do you just have like an aside? No, that's not it.
Oh God, what's the word? Like,
we do words good.
I do words good. Either way. So they do so much in such a short clip to show how strong the bond between Kageyama and Hinata is, how well Kageyama knows Hinata, how Hinata can overcome things, and how Kenma handles it, because Kenma's like, oh fuck.
Right. God damn it.
It's just like he thought he was the immovable object, but in fact he was not, and Hinata is an unstoppable force.
Yep.
And from then on, shutting Hinata down is not the same. And they always do such a good job of showing how much morale matters.
Oh yeah, how much energy shifts a game.
Oh yeah, and they've talked about that, especially in season 4. When you get that shift in morale, it changes everyone, and it changes how well they play, and it's really moving when they do it, and it just hits right. This is such a feel good show. Every time that happens, it's just like my heart skips a beat, and I'm like, this is beautiful. Like shedding a single tear. Like especially there's a moment in season 4 where it's just like Hinata, like everyone's getting really intense because it's just really, really tight, and then finally Hinata just gets a receive. It's like his first major receive, and he shoots it real high, so everyone just has a second to breathe. And then one of the guys watching it is just like, sometimes you just need this. And I am witnessing something you don't witness every day, where someone overcomes a wall, and where it just like, once it goes up, because like they were playing so hard, and
they just needed a second to slow down.
And they literally, again, they do such a good job with the imagery. Like it literally showed, there was just darkness closing in. The faster the playing got, its darkness is closing in, and then Hinata pops a high one. It's just like the lighting changes. It's almost fuzzy, kind of like Inosuke every time he gets a compliment. It's just fucking astounding. And if you're listening to this and you haven't watched the series, just do it. It is such a feel-good show, and it doesn't have like the negative emotions are small. I mean, if you like feel-good shows, and it's just it is a very uplifting and motivating series. Now, the anime style is really good, too. And then, you know, that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Like, everything closing in, or, like, when things do get hectic and they do get intense, the line work gets, like, scratchier to show that.
Yeah, you get those fucking speed lines to show speed.
Yeah, buddy. But even outside of that, just, like, their faces look different in general. Or
oh, like, yeah, when they fucking get tired and you can see the sweat dripping off them, and they just look physically worn.
And they do such a good job of showing that, man. Like, it's... You feel everything they feel, and they do such a great job of it. Something they did in this, which they've never done before, is the Kenma thing at the end.
Oh, it's so good. It's fantastic. It could have been so bad, too.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they just went for it. And so what they do, and this is for the game point, is it's from Kenma's perspective. Kenma's out of shape. And so he's just like running his ass off. And this is where I thought like Fukunaga set us up for Kenma to die. Because he's just breathing heavy. He's falling down. And it's all first person. And it feels anxiety inducing. Because he's just barely getting up. He's just barely catching. He's just barely hitting the set.
And fucking head whipping around, trying to follow the ball.
And it just feels so intense. And it's stifling. And you feel his desperation and his exhaustion. And, he even runs and does, I think he does a dive for a save. And all of this is very unlike Kenma to this point. And to just see him trying so hard and just feeling what he's feeling. It's just like, is he going to die? Are they going to lose? Is he going to make it over? I feel like as it's stifling, even though everything's going really quickly, I also just feel like you feel him slowing down. Like it feels like a very intense, fast scene, but it's also very slow because, God, I felt heavy.
Because you're watching it from the view of a person who is slowing down while everything around him is picking up.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, at one point he falls, you see the sweat fall from his face, and don't you see his reflection too? Yes. Everything about this scene just hit fucking hard. And what an amazing way to like hit that climax of them losing. Because what ends up happening is he goes to set and it slips from sweat.
Just clean through.
And it just the whole scene hits hard. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if they're going to lose. I was expecting him to get it over. I was expecting him to overcome it. And it was just this intense, amazing scene that just everything they do in this series just adds so much to my emotional investment. And this is no exception.
Shout out to Production IG for coming through in the clutch on that, though.
I know, right? I was glad to see them come back. They dropped Production IG or something like that for season 4. The art style's different. It's not like
it's not bad.
It's not. It's more light. Whereas like IG, they make the action really cool. Whereas season 4, I feel like feels more fluffy.
Yeah.
It feels like they're leaning more into the emotional side. So it was great either way, but I do kind of prefer the Studio IG stuff. It's fucking great. So I mean, and I guess my final note is, most importantly, it's just fucking fun.
Oh, that's the most important thing you can have in a fucking movie theater.
It's at the end of the day, like, it is so enjoyable to watch. I was literally mouth agape for half of it, like mouth agape. Big smile.
Full on mouth breathing over here.
Well, yeah, I just always mouth breathe. Yeah, I'm gross. But, everything about it was so good. It was so fun. 9 out of 10. Watch the 4 seasons. Watch the movie. Feel good. Especially if you're depressed. Just feel fucking good.
Feel good and then go fight something like a bear.
Yeah, definitely. And feel good about that. Please don't die. Shawn, I don't want sued.
I don't actually recommend fighting a bear.
Thank you. All right, cool.
Unless you're a trained professional, but I don't know how a trained professional would get trained to fight a bear. But
didn't Tyson want to box a bear? No, he wanted to box a gorilla.
Yes, he did.
And they said no. I would pay to watch that. But yeah, no, the series is astounding. It's fun. I'm so invested. I'm awestruck because at the end of season 2, I'm like, how are they going to top this? And they fucking do. And then season 3, I'm like, how are they going to top this? Just barely, but they do. And then season 4, how are they going to top this? And it's just like, this one's I wouldn't say a big jump, but it is for me, it was just an even bigger jump. It's just like a culmination of all of these seasons coming together for what I felt was a near perfect story.
Yeah.
And I haven't had time. I cannot wait to see it again. I would watch it back to back when it does become streamable, or if I do buy it, I'm going to watch it back to back. It's moving. It felt good. This show is so feel good that I think it is a substitute for vitamin D.
I'd say so. Hell, get a double dose. Put this on your tablet and go watch it out in the fucking sunshine.
No, I don't like sunshine.
I was talking to the other people.
Oh, yeah. You guys should do that. I need to touch grass. So, our shame rating on this. It's not a shameful show. It's light. There's, like, next to no fan service. You can watch this with almost anybody.
Yeah.
You can watch this with a kid. You can use this as means if you want to indoctrinate your kid. I'm not doing that, but she did watch an episode.
Yeah.
That was actually just because she asked what movie I saw, and then I was just like, oh, it's this, and then
Easier to show her than to fucking
yeah,
tell
and then
her.
she was just like, I want more. I'm like, nah. I mean, she's 5, so I was like, let me see, and we dabble, but probably when she's a little older. So for me, we're gonna do this rating. This shame rating is from City Boy to straight up fucking Tanaka, and this is 9 out of 10. Like,
Yeah.
you have nothing to be ashamed of, like, unless you're just inherently ashamed. Not you don't want to tell people you're into anime. Then yeah, there's that. But like, that is the only line I would draw on this series. For
Although-
everyone.
Yeah, E for everyone. Only reason it's a 9, I think, for me, is because it might be kind of weird you telling someone that doesn't know anime that, hey, I'm watching an anime about high school boys.
Yeah, no, like, I'm about this high school boy anime, but like, also, like, how common I feel like when you mention that, like, people are like, but like, also, like, Friday Night Lights, 10 Things I Hate About You, like, there are just so many. God, just look at the high school dramas, but like, there are so many, like, series or movies in Western culture that are about high school, and so I get that people are like, it's weird, but also, like, is it though?
It's not.
It's
but
widely accepted if it's not a cartoon, as people like to say.
I was about to say, it's not weird, but it's anime, so some people are going to think it's weird.
Exactly. So yeah, hey, thanks for coming. We always appreciate you. Please, I don't want to sound desperate, but please reach out to us. But hey, until next time, guys, let's keep it low key, weebs. Peace.
Bye.